Welcome to TV20 News. I'm Dan Monroe. Coming up on today's news, Mayor Bibb signs an executive order creating the municipal cabinet for children and youth aimed at tackling poverty and improving opportunities for the city's young people. Yeah, there's something very cool coming to the Lakefront this summer, and I spoke with the man putting it all together. And later, a big surprise for Wade Park Elementary students thanks to a generous donation. But first, 3,000 new homes are on the way in our city. It's part of City Hall's next step towards more affordable housing access. TV20's Megan Gallagher explains.
We are so excited to be in this very beautiful and amazing space to share more details about the Cleveland Housing Investment Fund.
It's the first fund of its kind to come to Cleveland despite a major need.
We have a crisis in our city and a crisis nationally when it comes to access to good quality housing.
The Cleveland Housing Investment Fund hopes to raise more than $100 million to create affordable rental and for-sale housing. The city and Key Bank have already pledged close to half that amount. The fund is a model used in other cities nationwide by the Local Initiatives Support Corporation, something that caught the eye of Key Bank investors.
So part of the catalyst for this program was a trip to Detroit where we invested into a similar fund, and a part of that work was seeing the impact of that work, right? And so on one block in Detroit, we helped to invest in this fund, but 3 buildings were renovated and turned back to good use for the community for new housing units. And so seeing that in Detroit, I was like, we can do this in Cleveland.
The program will also support developers already bridging the affordable housing gap and invest in new developers hoping to do the same.
So right now we're on 72nd and St. Clair. We're doing the container homes. So we have the first duplex made out of shipping containers. It's the first one in Ohio. Yeah, first one in Ohio. And then we have access to about 58 lots in that area, and we're going to be building duplexes. And then we also have slated and approved a 64-unit apartment building. So by having this fund, now instead of breaking the project down from 20 duplexes to 5, so we're building 5 at a time just due to funding.
And that fast-tracked development is needed as housing prices continue to rise.
Cleveland is one of the top 50 metros that has the highest increase in rents, with the most recent data around 10.6% annual increase in rents. We know that affordable housing for working class families has increased, and we know that the demand has outpaced supply.
The fund's ultimate goal is to put a roof over the heads of those working class families, as they are the people we interact with every day.
Whether it's that single parent mother, that really single head of household that is really just trying to make sure that they're trying to create wealth, and that small family that's trying to buy their first home. We think that housing is the paramount issue in the city of Cleveland.
From here, investors will be pitching the project to encourage more funding. There's also an informational session on April 10th for developers to learn more about partnering with the fund. I recently sat down with Scott Skinner, Executive Director of the North Coast Waterfront Development Corporation, to talk about some exciting news coming to the lakefront this summer that affects everyone. Joining me now is Scott Skinner, the Executive Director of North Coast Waterfront Development Corporation, with a really cool announcement that might change your summer plans and coming to downtown Cleveland. Scott, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
So North Coast Waterfront, we all know where that's at.
Yes.
What is going on this summer? Tell us all about it.
Sure. To set a little bit of context, so the organization I run is called the North Coast Waterfront Development Corporation. It was started by the city of Cleveland with the sole goal of executing on lakefront development. So that includes building the land bridge we've all talked about for years and years. That includes making some changes at the shoreway. That includes building the infrastructure necessary to actually build a lakefront public park and hotels and apartments and restaurants and all those things we want to see. All those are 3 to 5 years away, best case scenario. It takes a long time to do infrastructure work. It takes a long time to put these things together, right?
Yeah.
But what we're talking about is 25 acres of city-owned land directly on Lake Erie. It's the land north of Brown Stadium.
Okay.
It's currently a surface parking lot. It's active 10 days a year. And I don't think City of Cleveland residents should have to wait 3 to 5 years to be able to utilize this space. So we are starting this summer what we're calling the North Coast Yard. It is a temporary pop-up public space that will be made of shipping containers, Quonset huts, materials that are meant to not exist there forever, but to activate the space in the short term. We will have programming like a roller skating rink, pickleball, basketball courts, a beer garden, food and beverage opportunities, a stage for musical acts, as well as just a waterfront deck for folks to sit directly on the water and look out at Lake Erie, check out the sunset, spend time with their family. It's something we're really excited about, and it's a way to really start to create a sense of place of what right now is just a surface parking lot, and to start to bring folks down from hopefully every neighborhood in the city to experience what is one of our best assets as a region, Lake Erie.
Yeah, well, that's amazing. That sounds like a lot of fun. Let's break it down a little bit. So now it's going to be that north parking lot right in front of the Brown Stadium. Is
Correct.
that kind of by the steams, the ship?
It is directly next to the ship.
Down to the ship, okay.
So if you're walking down and you're facing Brown Stadium, you walk down Erie Side Avenue, you will come right up to where the space is. Okay. The whole land is 26 acres. We are only using a little bit over an acre.
Okay.
And we'll be using that as free space. This will be free for folks to come and enjoy. No entrance fee, no admissions ticket, anything like that.
Parking?
Parking, it's city parking, so it'll be same city parking rates. Okay. But we will work on getting free city parking for some of the events that we're doing as well. So, free for folks to come down, want them to enjoy it. If you want to buy food and beverage while you're there will be opportunities to do that. If you want to bring your own food, you can also bring your own food, sit on the water, and enjoy some time with your family for free.
You mentioned, besides that, pickleball, tennis, basketball?
Yeah,
that's
great. Yeah, so we're building what we're calling just a community blacktop. So a blacktop that is paved, nice, and can be used for multiple purposes, right? The difference between a tennis court and a basketball court is just paint stripes. So this is a place that can be used for youth basketball tournaments, which we're planning to do, can be used for pick-up pickleball games, which we're planning to do, and can be used for roller skating, which we're planning on having a roller skating rink with skate rentals available for folks every Friday throughout the summer.
Now talk about this stage. There's nothing more that I like to do with my family is coming down and listening to some music and just enjoying some family time. Talk about the stage. What can we expect on that?
Yeah, so we are working with a number of musical artists, a number of other folks, our partners over at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, to utilize this space for both live music, for potentially DJs, just to have some nice sound there. It's a small space. We're not talking about a large concert venue, but it is a place where you can come down, sit on the water, and listen to music.
Yeah, have some music playing in the background.
Exactly,
join the food trucks. Talk about that. You mentioned food trucks.
Yeah, so folks want to eat down by the water, and there's actually not a lot of opportunities to do that across Cleveland and across Northeast Ohio. So this is, again, not a permanent restaurant installation, but we have a number of food and beverage vendors, folks who own restaurants already around Cleveland that also operate food trucks that'll be down on the waterfront serving food to folks who want it. They'll be there every weekend. Every weekend we have a series of sort of programs and recreational activities planned, and then throughout the summer we'll have a couple really large-scale events like a 4th of July watch party that folks can come down and enjoy the space for.
Talk about security. I know that's big in everyone's mind. Talk about that.
Yeah, so we are working with our partners at the city, as well as our partners at Downtown Cleveland Inc., who manage Voinovich Park and do a really terrific job with it, about making sure this is a safe spot for families to come. I have a 2-year-old son. I want to make sure that it's a safe spot for folks to come and enjoy some time. It will only, however, be open from dawn to dusk.
Dawn to dusk.
So this is not meant to be sort of a nighttime bar experience. This is, dusk is not until 8 or 9 p.m. in the summer.
Yeah.
So it will be open fairly late, but this is not meant to be something that is sort of open and active late at night or early into the morning.
And when does this launch?
So we are launching it in the first couple weeks of June. So we'll have a sort of soft launch the first weekend in June, and then a sort of grand opening the second week in June, where we have a host committee planning activities and planning something really special.
And if people want to follow along, see how it's going, and see what maybe it's going on different weekends, is there a place they can go get that information?
That's right, northcoastyard.com. You are able to see what the programming opportunities are going to be, follow along on a calendar. If you want to participate, if you have a small nonprofit that teaches yoga, or if you are a small local business owner that has their own coffee business, you can also put your contact information in there, and we can bring you in and make sure that you're a part of the team. One thing that I think is really exciting about this project specifically is as we're thinking about the larger plans for the lakefront, where we'll have restaurants and retail and hotels and apartments and all of those things. This is a way to bring in some small local businesses at the very start of it and sort of use it as an incubator and really hopefully provide opportunities for those businesses to grow with the lakefront development and ultimately take on permanent spaces down there as well.
I see great things for the North Coast Yard this summer. I can't wait to check it out. Scott, thank you so much for joining me. It's going to be a great summer.
I appreciate it. We'll see you there.
All right. Wow, that's going to be so much fun. I can't wait to check that out this summer. Cleveland Mayor Justin Bibb called for a renewed effort to serve our city's youth while including them in the decision-making process. TV20's Alex Victorina gives us a closer look.
It's official.
A new effort to protect and uplift Cleveland's youth is taking shape with the signing of the Municipal Cabinet for Children and Youth Executive Order last week.
Having our voice ensures that we are addressing the relevant issues that affect us and empowers us to be leaders.
Garrett Morgan, 10th grader Yamari Newhoff, is an example of a voice that will contribute to the new Children's and Youth Cabinet. Mayor Bibb states that the cabinet is not just another program, but a hub through which all decisions and strategies for the city's youth will go through, involving youth voices to determine best practices.
So, with this executive order, we are making a commitment that every single department at City Hall will be focused on how do we improve the conditions of children in our city.
Mayor Bibb says the program will also teach students what he learned from his own mom, the importance of being involved and doing good work.
And when I would pout and complain about singing in the church choir every single Saturday, it was that idea of being committed to something so I would stay out of trouble, but also she wanted to ensure that I was always busy from sunup to sundown.
Before the official signing, a familiar face sat by the mayor's side, Lorenzo Robertson, who spoke out at a town hall last month after his friend Caden Coleman died from gun violence. Lorenzo ended the signing by empowering the crowd in attendance.
So, I want everyone to repeat after me. You can do anything you put your mind to. You can do anything you put your mind to. And always keep your head up. And always keep your head up.
One more time, Lorenzo. Congratulations.
Mayor Bibb says the cabinet will make decisions based on data and available resources. To learn more, visit the city website and navigate to the news tab at the top of the site. In case you missed it, here are the highlights from this week's City Council meeting. Hey Cleveland, here's a quick wrap-up of the key decisions from the March 24th City Council meeting. Council approved a new collective bargaining agreement the city worked out with the Cleveland Patrolmen's Association. The new agreement runs from April 1st, 2025 through March 31st, 2028, and provides, among other things, an increase in the salaries and wages for members of the bargaining unit. Council passed a resolution sponsored by Council President Blaine A. Griffin, urging the United States federal government to relocate the headquarters of the National Aeronautics and Space Administration to Cleveland. All of Council joined to sponsor this resolution. Finally, Council passed a resolution, sponsored by Councilman Kevin Conwell and Council President Blaine Griffin, supporting National Colorectal Cancer Awareness Month and declaring the month of March as Colorectal Cancer Awareness Month annually in the city of Cleveland to help raise awareness and encourage people to begin colon cancer screening at age 45, as recommended by the American Cancer Society. That's your Cleveland City Council wrap for this week. Stay tuned to TV20 for more updates on how council decisions shape our city. We'll be back with more TV20 news after this.
Hello, my name is John Mahoney. I am the manager of the City of Cleveland Office of Consumer Affairs. The Office of Consumer Affairs investigates consumer complaints. These include any purchase of a product or service you make, as long as you are a Cleveland resident or the complaint is about a business located in the City of Cleveland, Ohio. We will attempt to mediate an agreement between both parties to resolve the issue. However, we cannot guarantee an outcome in the consumer's favor. Consumer complaint categories include auto, repair and purchase, billing, home improvement contractors, mortgages, and retail. We have posted consumer educational flyers on the Office of Consumer Affairs page on the City of Cleveland website. We also collaborate with local, state, and federal partners who protect Clevelanders. Cleveland Department of Aging, the Better Business Bureau, Cuyahoga County Department of Consumer Affairs, the Legal Aid Society of Cleveland, the Ohio Attorney General, the Federal Trade Commission, the Federal Bureau of Investigations. Feel free to contact us with any questions at 216-664-4529.
This summer, the Cultural Arts team is offering a variety of programs throughout the City of Cleveland, including ceramics, painting, theater, cooking, and more. With a variety of youth and adult classes, there's something for everyone. All the instruction and basic materials are provided free of charge. For a full list of offerings, visit us online or call Cadell Fine Arts at 216-664-4103 for more information. Registration opens Tuesday, May 6th, with programs starting June 2nd. Look forward to seeing you this summer.
Welcome back to TV20 News. I'm Dan Monroe. Students at Wade Park Elementary School received a special gift of 4 free books thanks to a partnership between the Kids Book Bank and Amazon. I personally stopped by Wade Park to witness the kids' reaction to getting the books and to learn how this all came together. I am at Wade Park Elementary School where something really cool is going on. Thanks to a relationship with the Kids Book Bank and Amazon, the kids here get 4 free books to take home. Isn't that amazing? Let's go find out the whole story and see how this all came together.
Today you can choose 4 books to take home with you. How many books can you choose? 4. Okay? When you get your books, they are yours to keep. You do not have to give them back to me, okay?
Okay, I'm here with Leslie Fitzsimmons at the Kids Book Bank. And Leslie, we're in a room surrounded by books. What's the story and how these books got here?
Yeah, it's amazing. We love being in a room surrounded by books. We got these books all free from the Junior Library Guild in Columbus. They had an overage of books that they could not distribute to their librarians and library partners, and they were going to be pulped. They were going to be shredded. And so we were able to get these books through a partnership with Amazon, with our local Amazon friends. They gave their time, their money to go and wrap these pallets and ship them, drive them freight to us. Our warehouse is very small, so we were only able to store a small portion of the books. So our friends at Amazon are keeping about 100,000 books in their Euclid warehouse. In total, we were able to save 125,000 brand new books. And we're happy to be here at Wade Park for a free book fair for the students here.
This wouldn't have happened without the support of Amazon. I'm here with Greg Malden, Operations Manager with Amazon. Greg, talk about this relationship that you found with the book bank.
Well, about 3 years ago, we learned of the book bank, and they operate similar to a food bank, but they offer books for free to children within our community. And so we started volunteering with them. We started providing them with grant funding so that they could bring books to kids in our communities where we live and work. And then they called us and asked us if we could help them with saving some books from being recycled into pulp.
So when Leslie called and said help, there was no question. It's like when and where, right?
That's right. I said, well, I think we're a warehouse company, so we can hold 100 pallets of books. And you know what? We also have a logistics company over here. I think we can help you move these books. And so we moved 5 trailers worth of books, or 125,000 books that we are storing 100 pallets at our Euclid facility, and then 25 pallets are, some of which are here today, being offered to these kids at Wade Park.
Our mission is to distribute new and gently used books through community partners in Greater Cleveland. We focus on priority areas where families and kids may not have ready access to books. Our goal is that kids take books home to build their home libraries. We want them to have book ownership as part of their life so that reading becomes part of their family routine.
You know, right here at Wade Park Elementary School, books. A lot of them, the kids are taking them home. This is great. So for TV20, I'm Dan Monroe. Those kids were so excited to walk away with those 4 free books, thanks to the Kids Book Bank and Amazon. There's more TV20 news still to come. Stay tuned.
Camp George Forbes offers a summer overnight and day camp program. Overnight campers will receive 5 days and 4 nights of positive and rewarding experiences that is conducive to the nature of camping. This program is organized and structured to instill a sense of respect for people, nature, and the environment. Campers will gain skills within the areas of aquatics, arts and crafts, indoor-outdoor education, and recreation. Ages range between 9 and 13 years old. Registration is open now, and the camping season starts June 9th. For more information, please contact Camp Forbes at 216-263-5325.
This summer, take center stage with Show Wagon. Join our free summer performance program for youth ages 8 to 18, where you will build confidence, make new friends, and develop your creative talents. Rehearsals runs from June 2nd to July 5th, with performances touring Cleveland neighborhoods July 8th to August 16th. For more information, call Cadell Fine Arts at 216-664-4103. Do not miss your time to shine.
Welcome back to TV20 News. I'm Dan Monroe. Finally, let's take a look at some more of Cleveland's hidden history. Have you heard of any of these stories?
It's time for our Hidden History segment. Of course, I am here with the incomparable John Skirdick, the Chief of Collections and Special Projects. John, how are you today?
Great. Thanks for having me on the show today. I'm very excited to talk a little bit about our history.
I am so excited to learn because I know that you have a wealth of knowledge. Today we're talking about the Library for the Blind and Print Disabled.
Correct.
Where do we start?
Oh, we have to go really far back here. We have to go as far back as 1897.
Okay.
This is something that our great leader, Linda Eastman, one of our directors of our library, she was a wonderful person and one of the first in the country to lead a large organization as a female in the country. And we really thank her for her service, because back in 1897, she had the great vision to reach out to our community and to have a book club for patrons of Cleveland Public Library that were blind at the Goodrich Center. So this is where the story began, way back in 1897.
1897, and you mentioned Linda Eastman, the woman behind this amazing book club and so much. Not only did she start this book club, but she also did Braille instruction. So she taught people that other people. Tell me about that. That's crazy.
So she was just multifaceted woman who really kind of changed the library game in so many ways. And back in 1903, she was able to bring to our institution Braille books and services that no other place around the country was doing at that time. She was an innovator, and she was inclusive to understand. The library is called the People's University now, and she sort of was instrumental in making us this because she reached out to all.
What a force, and what a delight for us to have this history here in Cleveland. And you mentioned all the resources that she helped to create and integrate into the community. but there's also the Cleveland Site Center. Tell me about her role in instituting that.
So we honor her because the Cleveland Site Center still goes on today, but it started with Linda Eastman's work. She was a pioneer to not only just work with the Cleveland Public Library, but to branch out into the community and to find different organizations that were like-minded to make sure that we were reaching the most people possible. And they honor her still today as one of the innovators of that great agency.
So John, Linda Eastman was critical in creating a history of her own. She was a force, so she did the thing. But I understand that the Cleveland Public Library also has a history when it comes to accessibility.
Yeah, so we take what she founded here at the library very serious, and what generations of librarians built here in Cleveland. We wanted to keep her great work alive. Now, the Ohio Library for the Blind has evolved over the years. We've had talking books, we've had Braille books, and at one time we served 58 counties of the library. And at this point, we are the library for all 88 counties in the state of Ohio that reaches out to Cleveland Public Library's Ohio Library for the Print and Disabled. And what that means is people who call, they want to know how to use their different technological media on the phone, or they have questions about how they can get talking books to their home. Our great staff works with them every day to ensure that we are giving service to the entire state.
And in recent years, I understand that they've modernized the process. Again, this is a resource that's accessible to all 88 counties in Ohio, but how is it modern? How's tech involved?
Yeah, so we have an organization or a group called BARD, and it's talking books online. So it used to be like you'd send one book to the patron, they would send it back, very old school, transactional. Our staff has worked to embrace the digital offerings. So now you can send 80 books at once, and we're always helping our patrons, and teaching them has become even more important. How to use this technology. How are we there for our community now? People with low vision, people who are blind, and we do a great job of constantly training our staff and our community on what's available.
The Cleveland Public Library has been committed to continuing Linda Eastman's legacy for years and years and years. In your own personal opinion, what do you think is to come for the Library for Blind and Print Disabled?
I think the sky's the limit. We are constantly an organization that's evolving to bring the newest technology available to not just one group, but to all groups. And that's what's important. We walk the walk here. We say, here, your tax money's coming in, and it's coming back to you in the best possible ways, as shared resources for the entire state of Ohio.
Absolutely amazing, John. Thank you so much for sharing your knowledge on this episode of Hidden History.
Thank you.
We are constantly uploading new content on our TV20 Cleveland YouTube page, so make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on anything. You can also connect with TV20 Cleveland on your favorite social media platforms like Facebook, Instagram, and X. Thanks for watching TV20 News. I'm Dan Monroe. Be sure to stay tuned for more on TV20. We are Cleveland.